I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land. I pay my respect to elders, past, present, and extend that respect to other First Peoples of Australia, fellow students, and colleagues, for they hold the memories, the traditions, and the culture of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people across the nation. This video will discuss how visible and valued the First Nations peoples, communities, perspectives, and leadership are in the area that I live in. I'm from Africa and we were colonized. So seeing where people are not visible and not valued is not that hard for me. It is something I can feel even without being informed about it. I've lived in Zimbabwe for the past 20 years and I recently moved to Australia for my studies, so I do not have much knowledge about the area that I live in. I'd take my time moving around, thinking that I would find something which might change my story and support the fact that the First Peoples of Australia are valued. However, no, they are not. There's nothing to show respect and gratitude to them for all the history and traditions of this land that they hold. As I talked to some fellow students who did their primary and high school in Australia, I was shocked when they said they did not learn much about Australia's first peoples in their history subject. This left me thinking and wondering what they learned about if not this. I believe this is where the Australia that we are in right now started, and they hold much knowledge about this land even before the colonization. When I hear people talk about a socially just situation, I think about equality and fairness. To be socially just, every individual must be treated equitably and somewhat by society. Unfortunately, around Australia, this idea is far from reality. Social injustice can happen in schools, workplaces where there's racial discrimination, even in the environment that we live in. Although it is said that Indigenous Australians are being appreciated and considered, I think they are not considered well enough in society. Some of the Indigenous Australians in rural areas do not have access to health services, education, or the opportunity to participate in decision making in Australia. Since colonization, Indigenous Australians have been disadvantaged. This has affected the way they think, believe, and act, leading to some mental health issues seen in most of them. Similarly, the cultural discontinuity and oppression have been linked to high rates of depression, alcoholism, and suicide in many communities of the First Peoples of Australia. To my surprise, all this is not considered, but people are seen focusing on the after effects, which are happening to the affected generation right now. Thank you for your time.